Hey, I'm Aja A, and welcome to Sunshine Haze. Don't forget to check out all the links that I have listed down in the description box, and if you like the video, please give me a little thumbs up. If you have any questions after the video is over, feel free to drop them down below. I try to respond to everyone. And if you all know people interested in astrology, numerology, tarot, or whatever I'm talking about on this channel, go on and send them this link. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And of course, thanks for tuning in and rocking with me. May this info help y'all live your best lives. Peace. Hey, welcome back to SunshinehazeCo. I'm Aja A, for those of y'all that have never seen one of my videos. Thanks for tuning in. This is your October tarot forecast. This video is for my water sisters and brothers, Scorpio sun, moon, and rising. Before I get started, if you feel like this video is just not it, go on and check out your moon and or rising sign, which I will have linked down below in the description box, okay? We are in October, so I got hella October videos up. The October pick a card tarot forecast is up as well. We start October with the Aries full moon. I have a video on that. For half of the month, we're underneath the Virgo lunar cycle. The last half, we're underneath the Libra lunar cycle. Both the Virgo and the Libra new moon videos will be up. Check those out depending on when you come in here and watch your spread. And I know y'all don't want to hear this part, but we are having Mercury retrograde in October and also Mars retrograde. So if you're being taken out, go on and check out my retrograde series, link down below as well, okay? And also, because I know these retrogrades be taking us out, I have a sale going through the month of October for Mars and Mercury retrograde. They're usually $40, on sale for $20. If you're interested, my Etsy link is down there as well, okay? All right, y'all, let's get into it. This is your typical 4-card spread, looking at the overall energy for the month of October, any challenges or obstacles that you're going to be facing during this next month. Because we're dealing with Libra energy for most of the month, looking at where you need to bring some balance into your lives, and your soul message, something extra for you to take away with you from this spread. That sentence was not about to come out correctly, but I caught it. All right, y'all. First card that I have coming up, Scorpio, is in the position of your overall energy, and I like to see this here. You've got regeneration, and this doesn't surprise me at all. You guys are getting ready to close out your years. Y'all are next up for your birthdays. So as the energy usually does, you're in a space to where you really are, shutting some things down and really preparing to come into a new. You are, with the regeneration card here, this tells me that your new is some new. Like this is some hella popping new. I don't know what y'all got going on, Scorpio, but there's something major that has shifted for you. I pick up on a couple of different messages here. There could be some of you, and this could be in regards to a situation like a relationship or a job. There could be some of you that walked away from a relationship or a job that for some reason you still have ties to it or you're still connected to it, but you're now in a space to where you actually are really done with that and getting ready to move into this new chapter, into this new space. But the crossing card, which I'll get to in a second, does tell me that Scorpio, you still got your little stingers in there, like you're still kind of hanging on. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think that was part of your message for last month too. So now I'm about to fuss at y'all. Y'all still doing what y'all said y'all wasn't gonna do no more? Y'all still involved in what you said you was moving on from? What's good, Scorpio? Make it make sense. I feel like Dora the Explorer. What's good, Scorpio? We don't know. Anyways, so October, listen, October, you get a second chance at wrapping whatever is up that needs to be wrapped up and really coming into your new space. It's almost, I almost get this sense of you had a false start. Like you knew you were coming into a new chapter and you were preparing for it and you were excited for it, but you were still hanging on to some old habits. You were still hanging on to some old people. You were still hanging on to some old ways, some old spaces, some old energies. Now, the space that you're coming into, you don't necessarily have the space for that. Everything is different. Everything is new. If you look at the imagery on this card, everything was burnt up. This is a little tree growing out of some lava. Maybe it's not lava, but like, I'm gonna call it lava. It's everything that was there before is no longer there. And the beginnings of the tree, they look frail, but that's not necessarily what it is. This is really fresh. This is really new. This new energy, this space, this person. If you're going, no, actually, with your cards, you don't go into another person, or don't let another person go. Listen, live your best life, but I'm gonna get into that when I get into your next cards. But everything that was there before, no. What you've got now is fresh, it's new, it's budding, it doesn't look all that abundant, and it's still hot down here, but that's because you really are in a space where you understand, oh wow, no, like, I've got to let the lava flow all over that and let the lava, not necessarily wreak havoc, but consume it so that you can grow up and out into where you need to be, okay? The next card I've got in your spread is in your crossing position. This is the Four of Pentacles. And now this is my Egyptian tarot deck. And so on this card, you've got the Ray of the North, which symbolizes this energy of completion, of wrapping things up, and also splitting the profit and moving on, right? It's the Four of Pentacles, it's the Pentacles card, and this is a physical thing. So whatever I was talking about you were supposed to move on from is something in the physical, and it's probably foundational with this being the Four of Pentacles. More likely a relationship or a job, or a way that you were doing a relationship or a job. I pick up on that too, because I don't necessarily get that everybody needs to move away from these things. I also pick up on that there are certain situations that are really changing, that don't look the same way today that they looked yesterday, but I don't get negative vibes from it, if that makes sense. Your life is just different today, if that makes sense. Things are just different. Yesterday it wasn't different, today is different. And so with that being said, I want to read this in a couple of ways. It's a crossing position, crossing regeneration. You were supposed to be coming into a new, and you got an earth card, literally the card of laying your solid foundations, crossing you. So there are some foundational things that you need to get rid of, Scorpio, or some foundational habits that you need to get rid of. For those of you, excuse me, that were in a relationship or at a job that you either grew out of, or it either crumbled, however it ended, and you're still attached, that is why this card is crossing you. It could also be that you were living one way last week and it was okay for you, but now something has shifted and the way that you were living before is not going to work here. You're still used to this. This is crossing you. That's what your foundations were built in. That is what you're used to. That's how you're used to moving. That's not going to work where you are now. There are things that have to change. There are things that you have to do. There are people that you have to get rid of. There are foundations that you have to let crumble. Okay? And keep in mind, Saturn's about to station direct, and it's going to be stationing direct in Capricorn before it kicks back into Aquarius for the next few years. So if y'all remember, what was the slogan for Saturn and Capricorn? Crumbling foundations to create space for new pillars. Yeah, this is a Saturn and Capricorn, very much so card. It being crossed in the month of October does tell me that there are some foundations that you know are crumbling, or that you have allowed to crumble, but you haven't cleared out the space. And it don't confuse it with that being negative. They're just things that you're still carrying around or attached to that you don't need to be attached to anymore, because they're going to slow your growth. This regeneration is going to be abundant, and it's going to be, I do pick up on the sense that it's going to be fast, or it's going to bring in a lot for you, but you can't regenerate if you still Four of Pentacles in it out over here in your old Four of Pentacles. Like, come on. Turn this card into an upright position with the energy of this Egyptian tarot deck, and, wrap up that chapter. And just very, very briefly, because I did talk about splitting the goods with this card, this is a money card. Very possible for those of you that I'm talking about moving away from a relationship or moving away from a job. Take what you need, leave what you don't, and be on your way, okay? Like, we don't need extra conversations. You don't need to convince me that you're going to give me a better position. You don't need to tell me that you're going to do better. Like, it's okay. It's cool. I'm off that. Scorpio, that's how you need to. I'm off that, and it's all right. You take this, I'm going to take that, and we're going to keep it pushing. And that is the energy that you need to come in with. Turn this Four of Pentacles into an upright position, okay? Next card that you've got coming up in your spread is in the position of where you need to find some balance or bring in some balance. What is lacking, what needs to be brought in. You've got the Seven of Wands here. And in traditional tarot, and I mean this is typically a traditional tarot deck, there's just Egyptian symbolism and shit sprinkled in, but I typically read the Seven of Wands as a card of, you know, forging your own path and doing things that nobody understands, but you understanding that you need to do them because there's somewhere you're trying to get, and you know, so that's what you're going to do, right? In this deck, the Vulture of Nekbet is on this card, and the card carries this energy of just like amazingness, but also allegiance. And you're probably like, wait a minute, you just told me to do shit by myself, and then you just said this is the Seven of Wands. Listen, I'm gonna read it in both ways based off of the energy that we pulled with this Four of Pentacles. You're moving away from something. Apparently what you're moving away from is helping you move into your own, move into a new chapter, regenerate into a new version or a new sense of self, right? The Seven of Wands says that's where you're going. The energy of this card, though, says there's a little bit of a dependence that you need to take with you. And it's not the energy of the situation or the person, Scorpio. It is the lessons from the situation and the person. So whatever you're doing, listen, understand that you are moving away from something, and it's going to be, you're moving into a space of, and it's going to sound crazy, but of being alone, but not lonely. You're moving, like I said, moving into your own, moving into your new sense of self. So with this card, you have to take from your prior situations, your previous experiences, those lessons and those positive things that you've gained, the things that you've learned about yourself, that you've learned about how you function, that you've learned about the world and other people and situations and things of that sort. And you have to apply it to what you're coming up now. So since you're wrapping up your year, it's important for you to be paying attention to these things, paying attention to the situations that you feel starting to phase out for you, Scorpio, and then start thinking about what you were supposed to take from them. Because remember, I said at the beginning of your reading, I told y'all something like this last month or possibly the month before. I don't know. No, it would have been the month before because I was on a break. But I think I mentioned to y'all last month, like, there's something that you need to cut yourself off from, cut the cords from, and you haven't completely done so. So now you're in the space to where the timing, the divine timing is calling for you to be in your next chapter, but you're still kind of lingering in the past chapter. Like, you still going back and rereading a couple of pages. You're like, oh, I think I need to read this again so I can know what's going on here. When Scorpio, you done read that page 11,000 times. What, ain't nothing new in the book. The words are still the same. This was a printed book. Ain't nothing new in there. The words are still the same. Why? No need to keep rereading it. Just take what you can from it. Enjoy the experience. Remember what you need to. And turn the page, okay? Turn the page, because what's in this new chapter is for you. It's lit. It's popping. I also get this message that I need to tell you, Scorpios, if this message is resonating with you in regards to a relationship that you might be walking away from by way of this crossed Four of Pentacles. Live your best life, but right now is not a time for you to get involved in anything else. Right now is not a time for you to be mixing and mingling like that, and y'all know what I'm saying. Right now, you need to focus on the self and get reacquainted with who this new you is, okay? And now if you're in a relationship and the messages were resonating, this just means that your relationship is leveling up, and this is a time for you and your partner, or even if it's not a relationship, if it's like a new job or something, a time for you and whatever you're involved in to get acclimated with this new energy, with this new space. It's not a time for you to share it with the world. So single people walking away from situations, when you walk away from the situation, stop and give yourself time to breathe before you get into anything else. People that are in situations, kind of take you and all aspects of the situation, and I'm gonna be real, and kind of isolate yourselves or isolate you in that situation so that you can really get a grip on what it's like now, or what it is that you're in, okay? Now, you know, it's the season of change. And I know it's cuffing season. I know y'all like, no, it's cold. I'm doing something. Just be mindful. I gave y'all the message, and if you don't take the message, you can book a reading with me on how to get yourself out of them trenches that you put yourself in for not taking the message. All right. But yeah, let's get into your last card. The last card is your soul message for the month of October, and you've got cognizance here. And this is just, excuse me, sorry, this is just further confirming what I was saying about allowing your experiences to give you something. This is saying, you need to really be paying attention to what's transpiring. You need to really be paying attention to how you're growing. Pay attention to what you're moving away from, and really get into what you need to take from it, as opposed to how badly you want to stick around. Because listen, I don't like repeating myself, and I feel like this reading is very similar to last month's. Scorpio, I wanted to give y'all some new messages, and these are new messages. You are progressing, but I do get the feeling that I want to fuss at you, because there's just something, Scorpio, that you don't need to be doing no more. Or there's just something that you need to shift, or a change that you need to make. I just get this sense of, Scorpio, you know what's up and you ain't done it yet. So listen, you know what's good, so do it. You are getting ready to come into your new year. Don't bring whatever you was supposed to cut off last month into your new year. Let's just not do that. When I come back in November to talk to y'all about how y'all are starting y'all's years, I want to be talking about how y'all about to get some new money or something. I don't want to be telling y'all, oh, wait a minute, I still see some residual carried over from what I was talking about in September. So just be very mindful and pay attention to the things that are transpiring. Open your eyes and your ears to the lessons that are supposed to be coming in from this Four of Pentacles that you've turned upright, because you're going to move on and you're going to lay a new solid foundation in whatever the Seven of Wands is bringing in for you. Okay? All right, Scorpio, that's your spread. I hope that it found you well. If you feel like you want your own personal reading, feel free to book one with me down below. You are coming into your new years, so I do offer birthday readings. I have 2 different versions. One's a little bit more pricier, a lot more cards, a lot more time spent in that reading, but I do have a more affordable reading. They're both affordable, but I do have a more reasonably priced reading for the birthday spread. If you guys are interested in seeing what is going to transpire for you, or getting some insight into your next rotation around the sun, you can book that with me through my Etsy, linked down below. Support Black businesses, support a Black woman-owned business like SunshinehazeCo, okay? And yeah, you guys, that's all I got for you. Go do that work that I done already fussed at y'all about, and I will catch y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.